Welcome everybody back to a new episode of Daydream Legend. I am tired of trying to figure out what the episode number is when I start. I really should plan these things. I should know. I believe it's 10. Will we ever prepare? Probably not. I guess that's why this is fun, loosey-goosey podcast. I hate that I said loosey-goosey. Like, sometimes you just like go with what you're, just try to free flow, little improv, and you come up with loosey-goosey. Like how disappointed am I in myself with that? But anyway, thank you for returning. If you're here on YouTube, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, do all the things I need you to do to keep me popular in the Lord algorithm. That's what it is. We're all just bowing down to the algorithm, hoping that they'll throw us into the faces of new audience, and that's that. Also, go, even if you're on YouTube, please go subscribe to Daydream Legend on an audio podcast, Stitcher Radio, preferably Spotify. They help me out a lot more by letting me put video on there. iTunes, any of them, I appreciate it. Just go subscribe to that, even if you watch on YouTube. And if you're listening on the audio, obviously go to my YouTube channel. Just subscribe. Got the web series there, got stand-up clips, the podcast if you want to watch it for when I put up pictures that I'm talking about and stuff like that. And that's that. We got some stuff to get to today. We got our returning champion, Robin, with some messages, and we have new listener messages and the return of an F, marry, kill. I think I'm not supposed to say the F word. Maybe not this early in the podcast in case the YouTube algorithm's reading it. So F, marry, K. I don't know if they want me to say the K word either, because that's the world we live in.
And now, the news.
Let's get to some news first. I haven't read this news article yet. So it's gonna be the first time with you guys, just because I saw it and I had to talk about it because, I am obsessed. The world is with the Jeffrey Dahmer series, and Jeffrey Dahmer, an American-made serial killer, born and bred. We created this monster. Headline: Jeffrey Dahmer's dad targeted by crazed underwear-throwing fans. America, baby. This is America. Fans are obsessed with the father now of a serial killer, and we're going to find out why. Jeffrey Dahmer's dad is said to be Undies attack. Don't you hate? Why can't journalism just be straight up? What's Undies attack? Ugh. In the wake of the Netflix explosively viral series, overzealous fans swarmed the Ohio home of the late serial killer's father, Lionel Dahmer, 86, with vicious and sometimes lusty messages for the senior citizen. I'm happy for the guy. First off, before we even get it, he's a senior citizen. He's been through a lot in life. His son, it's bad enough if your son's a criminal, but then if you're like, I can't believe my son murdered somebody. And then you got to go through the fact, man, my son had sex with the dead body and ate them. I don't know how you get over that. So we had a lady stop at the end of the driveway, take off her panties and throw them in the yard. I had to go out there with a pair of tongs to pick up this woman's granny panties. The girl looked like she was in her early 20s and was shouting, "I love you, Lionel." So why would a girl in her 20s be throwing granny panties? Is this like an insult or something? I don't know. Oh, the caretaker went out there. So Lionel's he's 86. He may just be in there not knowing what's going on. So Jeb, he has a no trespassing sign, in hopes to deter Dahmer-obsessed fanatics. What is our obsession in this country with celebrity? Like, I understand if you're obsessed with celebrities that put out movies, but murderers? Insane. There are websites where you could like fall in love with someone on death row, or you can date someone. What's happening in your life if that's what you want? They call them, these people are called cannibal murder zealots. I'm going to put a pin in that. We're going to revisit cannibal murder zealot. It's like that they are trying to not, wait, it's people like that we're not trying. Okay, let me start this over. It's people like that we're trying not to have here. That's why I put up a no trespassing and private property sign. Okay. I'm trying to see, did anything, is it only one granny panty? That doesn't sound like a story. They said whenever a new take on the murderer's life hits the market, crime enthusiasts flock to their house. Leave this guy alone. Anything Dahmer related blows up. It seems like every time a movie or series comes out, then that's when a lot of crazy starts happening with the fanboys and the fangirls. See, it's totally gotten away from the granny panties. About 2 weeks ago, we had a guy pull up in a nice looking car right in the middle of the driveway, about 20 or 30 yards from the front door. I came out and he was acting erratic and violent, saying he wanted to see Lionel. He was a big guy and was acting very hostile. He started cussing me out and I was telling him, hey dude, you have to leave. You're not going to get in. He started acting more crazy, so I took a step back. I'm armed now, but I wasn't at the time. I put my right hip back, giving the appearance that I was armed. I told him, you need to leave or I'm going to call the cops. I thought this guy was going to do me harm. I don't know if he was on something, but he seemed like he was tweaking. The guy got in his car and he was swearing and he burned rubber the whole way out here. Just peeled tires. I'm not going to take my chances. What? All right. See, this story went just from like, I thought we were going to get more women. It sounds like right now there's only one granny panty. I'm going to go to this other article about the swarming of the Ohio home. No, it's happening in Westfield with the Watcher. I guess people get obsessed and they got to go annoy people that live there. But I want to look back at cannibal murder zealots. Cannibalistic mom shocks with hyper-realistic chocolate hearts and brains. Forget mock meat, this is a chocolate meat. A UK mom has been accused of inciting cannibalism after creating chocolate brains, hearts, figures, and other organs that are so realistic they could be props on Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. Photos of her anatomically correct confections are grossing out gawkers across social media. She says, I've always been into quirky things. The things I make inspire love or disgust rather than anything in between. So she's like a disgusting Willy Wonka. The idea was to make crazy pieces of food art available for a wider audience. Some of her grisly brain children include Hannibal, where the chocolate brains, fingers, and other naturalistic viscera. Viscera? I don't know what that word means. Let's Google it. Look up viscera. Internal organs in the main cavities of the body. Okay. The human heart is probably my all-time favorite chocolate. I love the way it plays on a traditional confectionery heart, and it's so fleshy yet solid. That's pretty disgusting, but I guess it's art. This is the problem, man. We're trying to find news out of things. This is the weird lady making weird art. You're trying to make her like some wacko. And the previous article acted like Jeffrey Dahmer's dad is getting like targeted by women wanting to sleep with a 120-year-old girl through granny panties on the lawn. That's not news. They're reaching. Anyway, I'm sorry I wasted your time with this. I hope you enjoyed it at least a little bit, because I kind of was, but then it annoyed me. Moving on.
New messages.
Let's get to voicemails. You know what? Robin's our returning champion. We'll save her for the end. Let's see what the new guy has to say.
Hey, Joey, tricked it, Brett. How are you? Just wanting to call in. Robin's your biggest fan. I just want to let you know that the podcast is going good. Enjoying it every week and looking forward to it. And actually, I did want to weigh in on her Would You Rathers from a couple weeks ago about the telekinesis, telepathic. See, I'd choose telepathy. But I agree with you. that, I don't want to hear what other people are thinking or what they think of me, because, I get you. But, to say something to them telepathically, like when you're driving down the highway and you got that guy in the left lane that just is doing the speed limit and not passing anybody and won't move the fuck over, I want to tell that guy, hey, buddy, get over. Or, same thing when you're driving, and you got that squirrel that's zigzagging in the middle of the road. It's like, hey, get over to the right. There's a car coming. I'm coming this way. Get the fuck over. You could save a life that way. Same thing with like a deer or a raccoon or whatever. You got that one person in the supermarket that's in the middle of the aisle, on their phones, just zombieing out, looking at it, and it's like, hey, people got to shop here. Move out of the way. I guess it would kind of go with your telekinesis, but this way you'd be able to really get their attention because your voice is now going to go into their head and be like, hey, wake the fuck up. Put the phone down. You know what I'm saying? And, one more question for you. And I Don't Know Joe, the web series, how were those burritos? Was it really to die for? I gotta know. All right, man. This is Kyle, by the way. All right. Good stuff.
All right. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks for the message. See, Robin, you got fans. Robin's just a part of the show now. She's just my my pseudo co-host for the time being. You got fans out there. So Kyle was talking about the previous episode, probably a few episodes ago. We talked about telekinesis or telepathy. Which would you rather? And you're saying telepathy. I get it. I get what you're saying. You can tell people what you thought. You could just tell people, but just think. Okay, driving, for instance. You said when I'm driving, I can, road rage. I can tell people get the fuck out of the way. I could do this, that. I could tell people things. But think about how many people will be telling you things. If you think your brain is crazy now, just wait till there's like, okay, we'll just start with a low number, 10. You're stuck in traffic. There's 10 people around you, 10 people telling you what they think. That would drive you out of your mind. While you're telling 10 people what you think or that person, I think audio is what keeps us from being total maniacs in stores. Because like if we were vocally telling people like in stores or like, cause in a car, nobody can really hear you. So you can vocally say it, but like you were saying, like in a store, telling somebody to move out of the way. Could you imagine everyone telling their thoughts to people? Or what if people can read my thoughts? Like, about like what they're wearing or like, I just feel like I'll get punched in the face a lot. Like, I guess I don't know. I guess I have to send my thoughts to them or they can't get it. Because if they're reading my thoughts, I think awful things about people as I pass them, especially if they're really ugly. I'm just like, eek. But it is a good thing that it would be good, but I feel like we'd have to have more control over what we hear. See, that's the problem. It'll be, I think we'd all be in mental institutions if someone can send us their thoughts right then and there all the time. Just think about if it was audio. If you had everyone yelling at you, you'd be like, all right. And then I don't know. It's a good idea, but I think it would drive me crazy. Or I guess it would just become so normal. I guess if that's how everyone is, it'll just be, this is what will happen. Okay. It'll become so normal that it won't work anymore. That's the problem. Everyone will be talking to everybody telepathically. And it'll just be the normal thing. So you'd have to go to physical violence from there. Because if yelling at people didn't work in the past and now we could do it telepathically, everyone will get used to it, still not listen. It's just going to turn to physical violence. And I think that's where we're heading. So that's my thoughts on that. If it makes sense. Sometimes I start rambling on something and halfway through, I'm not confident in my thoughts. So you also, it was telepathy. I appreciate you listening to the podcast, sending a message. Oh, and you asked about I Don't Know Joe and the burritos. Here's the thing about the burritos. That actual burrito story was true. There was a time when I got I don't go to Taco Bell no more. I feel like they've really gone downhill. They were never really up high on the hill, but they've really gone downhill from the little hill they were on even years ago. But there was a time where they had something called the grilled stuffed burrito. And I actually wrote a story about it in 12-step recovery magazines called How to Freebase a Burrito. It's probably available somewhere if you Google how to freebase a burrito. You could probably read it. Yeah, I was so into this burrito, just the way they grilled it and stuffed. It was just so delicious to the point where I was really kind of emotionally attached to it. It was like I was really addicted to it, where I was like, I'd be working somewhere and I'd be like Googling the closest Taco Bell because I needed it. And I remember when I hit bottom was I took a risk during a day. I was working for this video guy. I took a risk of going to a Taco Bell that was a little too far for me to go to on a break. Like, I didn't know if I can make it back on time, but I really sped there. I was really going fast to make it back. And when I got there, I get through the drive-through, I unwrap it, and they didn't grill it. And the grilling was what made it like superior to other burritos. Like, you had just your everyday burrito, but the grilling of it was what put it over the top. And I was so disappointed because I didn't have time to go get a new one. So now I had to just sit here with this lesser burrito. And that's when I hit bottom. I was like, I was about to cry at that moment. No joke. I just didn't know who I was anymore. And I understand when that stuff happens with drugs or booze or something, but for a burrito to do that to me, I was extremely ashamed. So now, trailing back to your original question, how were those burritos on that shoot when we shot that? Here's the thing about filmmaking. You got to keep your budget as low as possible because you're most likely not going to make your money back. Not all of it. You hope to make a little bit back, which I did, a very little bit back, but I still enjoyed making it. So I went for cheap Taco Bell basic burritos, and we were disgusted by them. The problem is I had a very small crew. Sometimes it was just me and the other actor, and maybe I had a helper, but sometimes I didn't. It was a very guerrilla style filmmaking for this. And so I'd have to go before the shoot, buy a bunch of burritos so I had enough for the take. So like the first take, you had a nice, possibly warm burrito. But as the takes went on, you had cold burritos, and they were nasty. Sometimes we would bite them and just spit them out. And it was disgusting. So the first couple shoots, I was using, we were actually getting like chicken and beef burritos. But I was like, it became too nasty, way too nasty. So I just started moving to the vegetable burrito because I felt like cold vegetables was like 1,000 times better than cold beef and chicken. So yeah, I mean, I should have put together outtakes. I do have outtakes of how disgusted me and my buddy Mike Salona, who played my buddy Sal in that. I'm gonna put together an outtake reel of us eating these burritos and being disgusted and put it up on my YouTube and all my other social media because it was gross. And the one scene in that where we actually were in a house where he threw the meat on my face. I took him on the road. We were doing a gig in Maryland, and that was the house they gave me to stay in. Instead of a hotel, I got an Airbnb. It was like this gorgeous house. So I was like, let's just bring our gear and I'll shoot that scene there. We'll just kill, because like during, when you're on the road doing comedy, you have like a whole day to kill before your shows. So we filmed it there, and we wanted to get, because it's like a Jersey show, Jersey people, we wanted to get Capicola, or as the Jersey Italians call it, Gabagool. Yeah, well, this was like in Maryland, and they don't know what the hell that is. And we got some weird ass round ham that was just disgusting. And I have outtakes of that, of him missing my face with the meat. That could be a good food outtake. But yeah, those burritos were gross. I wish I could afford to have better burritos, but the budget was high as it was. So nice dollar burritos from Taco Bell really did what they had to do.
New message.
I got a few messages from Robin, and I haven't listened to them yet. So we're going to take them one at a time and see if we have time to get through all of them.
Hi, it's Robin. So I have something in my eye, but I have a weird question. Um, let's say you're with a loved one, okay, and you're up maybe 10, 8, 11 stories high, and the loved one decides to jump over the balcony. Would you run and look over and would you run and look down? Like, I don't see the purpose of that. Like, obviously the person's not going to live. I'm only used because I'm watching this movie. The guy jumps over and his wife, she runs over. She looks over the balcony. Like, what does she expect to find? Does she want to see the gore? Like rubberneckers, those fucking pain in the asses. Like, what are you hoping to see? Why are you slowing down? Especially when the friggin' accident's on the other side of the road. What are you hoping to see? Like, a head, blood, a body splattered somewhere? Well, what are you slowing down for? Keep fucking moving. I gotta get home. I don't understand that. But would you look over, or would you just sit in the bed and be like, he's smashed up. Let me call 911. Like, I would not look. I don't look at accidents. I cover my eyes so I don't see anything gruesome. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I know this call doesn't make any sense. But you're a speed dial, so I figured I'd use it. Bye. Hang up.
Oh my God, Robin, you're a gem. You're awesome. First off, all right, there's a lot going on here. We started with a loved one jumping over off a building, and then you watching to rubbernecking on the highway, equating it. First off, you said, I'm just going to say right off the bat, you said you cover your eyes when you see accidents on the highway. I would stop doing that because you're going to cause another accident on the highway if you close your eyes while driving. So I don't know what's worth, rubbernecking or closing your eyes to avoid rubbernecking. So let's start with, the top. So you're up 10, 11 stories. A loved one decides to jump over. Would you want to look over to see them? And you're equating that to rubbernecking. That's, I guess, rubbernecking your family member's suicide is definitely an odd way to put it. Like if my loved one jumped off and committed suicide in front of me, and I didn't look, and someone else was there, I'd be like, "What happened?" Be like, "I don't know. I'm not a rubbernecker. Something may have happened. I think they went that way. Have you looked?" No, because I don't rubberneck. I feel like you'd initially just be shocked and look over, like what happened? What are you doing? And then you see it, and then I think you would just watch it fall, just not even like you're choosing to. Like, I can't believe my loved one, not even a loved one. I think if I was a stranger just threw himself or herself off a building in front of me, I would have to look. Probably more so a loved one, because you just can't believe, this just happened. I'd also, because knowing my anxiety, I'd be like, oh my God, please have left a note, because I don't want someone to think I did this. Like, what if you're hanging with a loved one who you just reunited with, that you had problems with, and you guys have had back and forth, text messages like, fuck you, I hope you're dead, I can't stand you, I wish you weren't around anymore. And then you get together on 11-story building, you make up, and then this family member says, I needed to make sure that we connected again before this happened, and then just runs off. Now they're stuck with all your text messages. You're definitely the prime suspect, and now you're going to have to go. Let's put it out there. If any family members are listening to this, I don't want you to commit suicide. Or friends or family. I don't want you to commit suicide, and I especially don't want you to do it in front of me. You shouldn't do it in front of anybody. You shouldn't do it, but definitely don't subject someone else to watching you jump off a building and splatter yourself and making them a rubbernecker. So I think I would look, just out of like sheer shock. I'm trying to see. I I don't know what I think you're just expecting to hope to see, like, maybe they get caught on like something that would stop it. I don't know. I'm surprised we don't have more like netting in America, for these buildings, just to be safe. I mean, someone can do a good leap and get over the netting, but at least give them a chance to change their mind by having put like a little net out there. They put nets at baseball games so you don't get hit with foul balls. They can't put them at the top of buildings. I don't know. Or in the middle of the building. So if somebody I don't know. It's rubbernecking on the highway. I'm guilty of it too. I am. It's just, it's an old hack joke of, that comedians do on stage for years, but it's like you get so mad at traffic that you're hoping somebody better be dead for this. Like to justify me being late, whatever useless thing I have going on in my life. Comedians have been doing that joke for years. I just wanted to preface that before I said it, because I'm not trying to be funny with that. I'm just saying that's a thought that real people have. You're like, what the hell's going on here? It better not be some guy just putting out cones. It better not. I need bodies. They don't need to be dead, but at least injured. At least a totaled car. I hope they're alive, but their car needs to be totaled. So when you're sitting in traffic for so long, you just look like, what? And then you look because you just need justification for this loss of time in your life. Also, there's something about dead bodies that it's like, one night I remember like when you're traveling down the Jersey Shore, I think it's Route 34. They have these things in Jersey called circles, which are like the worst. I'm sure they have them other places as well, but so like the highway will be going down, then it's because there's so many ways to exit, they make a circle. And one night, now Route 34 is like a straightaway. So a lot of people drag race down there. So when you get around the circle, you can drag race. And one night I was coming home from Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club and I saw a motorcycle crashed in the middle of the circle with like a blanket over, and the cops, I just knew he was dead. And I'm like, fuck. And like, I won't lie, I came up to the circle and I went slower around because I just couldn't believe that there's like a dead guy right there. Like, I'm driving in my car and I'm like, oh my God, my life stinks, whatever. Maybe that show sucked, or I didn't like whatever nonsense I was feeling, like seeing that guy laying there, I was like, holy shit, I have everything I need in life. So I don't know, maybe rubbernecking is just like people's, like you can't look away. You can't look away at disasters. The same thing when you see a really ugly person. It's a disaster. You're like, I can't believe how ugly they are. And then, maybe they're thinking you're staring at them like, is that guy catcalling me? Is that guy checking me out? Be like, no, he's rubbernecking you. He can't believe this disaster that's unfolding in aisle 10 of Walmart. And then I tell them that telepathically. And then they're like, fuck you, telepathically. You think I'm a mess? Look at you short mutt.
New message.
That gives me a little readout. It tries to read messages of people to give me the words, but sometimes it doesn't read properly. The technology's not there yet. But I'm going to give her due because her team did make it.
Hi, Gerald Robin. Yeah, we're celebrating the Phillies, baby. Friggin' World Series bound. All right, so I have would you rather? Fuck, I gotta call you back.
Okay. All right. Well, first off, congratulations, Robin, on your Phillies getting in the World Series. My poor Yankees, not my poor Yankees, they're paid very well. They're not even close to poor, but my Yankees shit the bed. Now, granted, Houston was a better team all season. Yankees, they had to play perfect baseball to get in. So they didn't, not even close. They couldn't hit a ball. And it was just infuriating. I'm very happy I didn't spend a fortune on playoff tickets like I was thinking about doing, because they were just very disappointing to me. It's very disappointing when a team, like, you don't mind if your team loses, if it was like sometimes when they would lose to the Red Sox back in the day, it seemed like such a battle and just somebody had to win. Like they were just going back and forth and somebody had to win. And then it was like heartbreaking losses for the Red Sox, heartbreaking losses for the Yankees, but it was always like two teams that were like razor thin close in how good they were. But it always seemed like the Yankees were in the Red Sox head up until they destroyed us in 2004 and swept us and then just became a World Series winning franchise. We are now the Red Sox to the Houston Astros. They are so in our head. It doesn't even look like the same team out there. We're not razor thin with them. I mean, it was only 3-2 games. So if you look at the score, it looks like it's closer. But when you watch the games, the score does not show how poorly they were playing. The score makes it look like they were even better sometimes, like 3-2. It's like, no, they can't hit, man. Can't do nothing. And then I was so tired of like people saying, well, the Yankees, they're just, they live by the long ball. They die by the long ball. It's just a home run hitting team. Well, that's what Houston was doing. Houston wasn't small balling us. They were hitting balls over the wall. Not a lot of them, but enough of them. So they weren't even playing at their best. They were playing down, actually, at us. That's how bad we were. They were playing less than their best, and they swept us. So anyway, I hate Houston. Hate them. So now the Yankees have made me a Philadelphia Phillies fan. So go Phillies. I hope you sweep the Astros. I hope you annihilate them. I hope you just crush them. I cannot see them win. It would be so disappointing. All right. So Robin, I'm now going to go to your call back. Let's see what you had to say now that you've remembered.
All right, I'm back. So I think I got my shit together. So would you rather? Oh, fuck, I lost it again. Wait a minute. Crap. Oh, here you go. Okay. Would you rather? Now, I don't know if you saw the movie Frozen. If you haven't, you should. It's pretty good. So, would you rather? Where the fuck did it go? Would you rather be stuck on a ski lift or stuck in an elevator? That's the one. I am not prepared at all. I'm sorry. Okay, so here's one. You're Italian, so you may go for octopus. I don't know. Would you rather eat a meal of Kiao Pong or octopus? I'm against all of them because that's killing our sea life, which they don't deserve to be dead. So, there's one. Obviously, this is a very sober call. Oh, here's a good one. Would you rather be too hot or too cold? You really gotta think about it. Would you rather be too hot or too cold? Well, I'll tell you, I'd rather be too cold because you can always heat up. But fucking, have you ever had your air conditioner break down in the middle of a 90-degree day? There's no cooling off. You can't get into a shower. There's nothing you can do. But, hey.
Robin, like I said before, you're a gem. So I got like 3 would you rather. So this might be the last phone call of the day once we bounce out of that. Okay. First one was, would I rather be stuck? Have I seen the movie Frozen? I may have watched it with my nieces years ago. Can't remember, but when you babysit, you just use that shit so they stop bothering you. So I probably didn't fully watch it. Would I rather be stuck on a ski lift or an elevator? Ooh, see, definitely a ski lift because I am claustrophobic. But I'm also afraid of heights. Depends on how high the ski lift is. I would have to go ski lift because then I feel like I can have an option for people to see me, to save me. Where an elevator, my luck, the phone wouldn't work in there. The cell service would be shit. But my friends make fun of me because one time I told them a story. I was in an elevator one time, and it was on a weekend in this building where nobody was really there. And I'm in the elevator, and then the power goes out in the building, and the lights go off. And I'm like, I can't believe this is my life. And I was stuck in an elevator. And then my buddies go, how long were you stuck for? I was like, about a minute or two. And they say, don't tell that story to people because it's not really a story. But for me, a minute, for a claustrophobic person, I fight back. For a claustrophobic person, a minute in an elevator, very long time. 2 minutes, very long time. Yes, I didn't have to go to the bathroom yet. Yes, I didn't get hungry yet. But in that moment, panic set in, and I thought it was over. Okay, so next one was, I don't know what the one word you used, and I may have to look it up. Would I eat octopus, or what was that? Kong? What'd you say? I may have to go re-listen to that. What was it? Kong? Let me see if I can.
Where the fuck did it go? Would you rather be stuck?
No, further down.
One. You're Italian, so you may go for octopus. I don't know. Would you rather eat a meal of cow tongue or...
Oh, cow tongue. Cow tongue or octopus? Oh, octopus. I don't want to eat anything's tongue. I don't see the need. I've eaten octopus. I've eaten octopus. I only like it at one place. There's this great Greek place in Cranford, New Jersey that makes it delicious. But I've had it other places where I don't like it. It's not my go-to. Like, I don't say, like, well, let's go out for octopus. But if it was there, I would try. I would probably try the tongue, but I don't like I'm a meat eater, and I do know, there's just certain body parts that, like, I don't want Rocky Mountain oysters. I don't want to eat the testicles of anything. I don't want to eat the tongue of anything. My father used to tell me at the Portuguese parties when they used to cook a goat, they would all fight over who can get the goat eyeballs. I don't want that. I don't want to eat haggis. None of that. Just give me the actual meat of the animal. Enough. Like, I get it if you're poor and you're like, we got to get everything out of this animal because we don't eat. That's when you eat the tongue. But when you have the other cuts of meat readily available, the tongue shouldn't be. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll love it. I have no idea. But I'm going octopus. And then the final one was, would I rather be too cold or too hot? I'm with you. Too cold because you can bundle up. When you're too hot, you can only get so naked. And when I'm hot, I'm cranky. See, I'm different than a lot of people. I'm desensitized to the cold because my father, like, he just made me hunt like every weekend that I saw him my whole childhood. I mean, I liked it a little bit, but I didn't like when he would bring me into woods I didn't know in the dark, put me up in a tree stand, and then leave me there. I had no way to get back. I was just sitting there freezing. I'm hoping to kill something just for the warmth. Like I wanted deer to come so I could cut it open and crawl in like Luke Skywalker, or at least get my hands in there. But it did make me tougher as far as cold. I can tolerate cold more because when you're a little kid dealing with that, it just builds up this tolerance to cold that I have more than most people I know. So though it was torturous and probably, not nice to do to your child at the time, it did give me a level of comfort in the cold. And no, I never got a chance to crawl into a deer. I seem to never get deer when I'm really cold and can use the warm blood on my hands. I always, whatever. We're not going to get too in depth because you obviously said you don't like killing animals. So that's that.
New message.
All right, I'm going to play one more from Rob. This will be a longer episode. I'm going to play one more from Robin, and then I'll try to do the F, Marry, K.
Hey, Joe, it's Robin. So I'm just going off the cuff here. Off the best bit I ever heard about a cookie. Yes, that's me opening a beer. So, if you had your own cookie, describe your cookie. What, that sounds dirty. Describe your cookie. Like, what would you want it to taste like? Icing, design, like, what would Joey's cookie be? Joey's crunch. I don't want to say cookie. It sounds dirty. was fucking Steve Harvey. Yeah. So what would Joey's cookie or cracker? What would you want it to taste like and look like? I know this. I'm so worthless. I'm sorry. Still one, baby.
All right, Robin, you're not worthless. You're actually, I think you're the best part of this podcast. Honestly, you're better than the actual host. Like you make me laugh so much. So continue with these amazing calls. And so if I can make a cookie, what would my cookie be? You know what? Honestly, the Girl Scouts have this new cookie that I love. Let me see if I can get it. New Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scout cookie flavor. Okay. It's called Adventurefuls. I don't know if you've had an Adventureful, but it's an indulgent brownie inspired cookie topped with caramel flavored cream with a hint of sea salt. I'm putting a picture up of it right now. It is so delicious. I can't tell you. What I would add so Adventureful is a good cookie. Also, your basic chocolate chip is good. So I'd like to combine some of the good stuff. See, this is what I would like in a cookie if I was designing one. Also, Caramel Delights, #Samoas. They're also good. They got the coconut, caramel, chocolatey stripes. So a perfect cookie for me would have like a chocolate chip cookie with hints of like toffee in it with like some drizzle chocolate. We could put some caramel flavor and that hint of sea salt. So I think that's what I want, a chocolate chip cookie with toffee, a chocolate chip toffee cookie, sea salt with the drizzles of caramel and chocolate on there. That's the cookie. I think that's what you're asking me, if I can design a cookie. That's what that would be. I actually have a joke about on my YouTube, my Instagram, about Girl Scout cookies and what my cookie would be. Because I don't want to do the bit. Just go watch it. But it's basically about naming Girl Scout cookies. So type in Joe Fernandes Girl Scout cookies and it should come up on YouTube for you.
New mail notification.
All right, let's get to, I have the F, Marry, Kill. I haven't had one in a while. He sent me this in a text message. Bill Gates' ex-wife, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, J.K. Rowling, FMK. Honestly, I have to look up what they look like. So let's get a new tab up here. All right, so I have them all up. We have Melinda French Gates, Bill Gates' ex-wife, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, Mackenzie Scott, and J.K. Rowling. F, Marry, Kill. So the good thing right off the bat is I can't use wanting to be rich as an excuse for somebody anymore, because they're all wildly rich. So they're all like almost on the same level. Probably J.K. Rowling's probably the lower end of that, but still massively rich. So I could marry all three. So now we're going to go basically off of looks. So let's see. J.K. Rowling's. There is something about gingers I like, though I've never dated one. Did I? Had to be at least one ginger in my life. Mackenzie Scott, brunette. You know me. I do love my brunettes. And then you got Melinda French Gates, who's a brunette, but she seems, no. Okay. I'm killing Melinda Gates because she's got too much of a fluid gender look that doesn't appeal to me. Like, I'm not like, she's not ladylike enough for me. So she's dead. Okay. Mackenzie Scott, J.K. Rowling. All right. I'm gonna, see, the thing is, Mackenzie Scott, J.K. Rowling can't marry because she's also creative like me. And I don't think you can have, I guess you could have two creative people in a relationship, but it might get annoying because she's way more successful than me. And just probably feel very insecure. Like, oh, you're one of the most successful writers. You want to hear something I wrote? She'd be like, no, actually, I don't want to hear your newest joke about cookies. I just wrote a novel bought by, 100 million people. Would you perform for 12 last night at the back of a bar and grill? You just better get home. So Mackenzie Scott is more attractive than J.K. Rowling's. So I'd rather be with her. She's a billionaire. She's pretty. So that's it. We're going to kill Bill Gates' wife. I'm just going to have sex with J.K. Rowling just because maybe she's into some weird wizard shit, like in the bedroom, some weird Harry Potter. I don't know any Harry Potter lingo. I never saw it, but I feel like her room must have crystals and weird scents, and maybe she does some magic with, So that's it. F, marry K. F, J.K. Rowling. Marry Mackenzie Scott Bezos. Kill Bill Gates' ex-wife, Melinda.
All good things must come to an end.
So that's the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Like I went in really not listening or reading any of these things, and I thought it was a fun podcast. Thanks for the call-ins. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Robin, for your continued support. Thanks to the man who sends me the F Mary K's. I don't know your name. I don't think you ever gave it to me, but I thank you for that. So again, the number to call, if I had it ready, like if I was professional, would be 973-908-8477. So please call or text 973-908-8477. I won't know who you are unless you tell me who you are. It's anonymous, but please ask me anything. Give me a would you rather, send me a news story, a TikTok video, anything weird. Just have fun. If you've been listening to this so far, you know what we're doing. We're just trying to be goofy and just almost nonsense. You know what I mean? So do that. You can also leave a comment on YouTube videos with questions. You can send me a message on social media. Go to joefernandez.net. I got more comedy dates I'm putting up there. Next week, if you're listening to it not next week, I'm sorry, but next week, November 2nd and 3rd, I'll be headlining Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club down in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, the place where the famous girl got thrown a beer at her head a few weeks ago. So please come out. Don't throw any beer at me. Cookies, please. I'll take cookies, especially if they're still packaged up. Just toss me boxes of cookies and I'll eat them while on the show. And that's that. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to the audio podcasting, whichever you listen to, and please subscribe. Rate the show if you can. I mean, this is a lot I'm asking you to do, but just subscribe. Just listen. That's all we want. And I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next time.